Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to the Golfing Dads. Tonight, we come to my home state of Indiana, and we'd like to introduce you to Rob Rouse, the interim COO of the Boys and Girls Club here in Indianapolis. Rob, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Rob, so happy to have it.
I'm doing pretty good.
So for our listeners, Rob, that might not be familiar with the Boys and Girls Club of Indianapolis or the Boys and Girls Club in general, can you tell us a little bit about your organization and its mission?
Yeah, so, kind of the core principles, having fun, safe, affordable, out-of-school programming, and we got locations spread across the city. So, we're there to inspire, enable young people, basically try to give them the resources to reach their fullest potential.
That's awesome. We need more of that in society.
So you guys have been serving Indianapolis for generations now at this point. And so what role does the organization play in the community today?
Yeah, I think the big thing is, to your point, just how long we've been here. So we're kind of embedded in just having that trust from the community. Trust relationships is everything with youth development. And then we just pride ourselves on, offering a wide array of programming, anything from character and leadership development, education, career development, health and life skills, art, sports and rec. We kind of hit everything.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's crossing everything there. Yeah,
that really is. It's really great to have this available for the kids in the community here in Indianapolis. So what are some of the biggest needs that you are seeing among the kids and the families that the Boys and Girls Club serves right now?
Yeah, one of the biggest things, especially right now with summer, is kind of academic recovery. We have a remediation program just to try to help kids get back up to a certain level to help them with going to the next grade, and mental health, emotional support for not only our kiddos but their siblings, their families. Something we're really leaning into, and beyond that, just access to opportunities, just anything to enrich. We basically want to make sure every kid finds at least one thing that they're passionate about, and then go support that. So that's how it kind of grew into so much of a wide array of programming.
That's awesome. So when you talk about academic recovery, like, are you looking for tutors and people to help kids after school, things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many ways to help and give back, but you kind of hit it. The big thing's that tutoring. And I'll be honest, in college, when I wanted to volunteer, I was terrified of it. But once you get there, you realize you're kind of overthinking it. It's just showing up, and you'd be amazed. The first time you come, as soon as you leave, we'll have some kid asking, like, when will he be back? You walk away thinking you didn't make an impact. So obviously with academics, but we take volunteers of all sorts to support these programs.
So if I wanted to be a volunteer for the Boys and Girls Club, and like you said, I might be hesitant because I'm like, maybe I don't think I'm going to be as good of a tutor. What's one thing that you would tell someone that has that maybe hesitation to help out?
Absolutely. One big thing is we try to, make it fit that person's interest, hobbies, passions, and just know that barrier of caring, giving your time. Time's a commodity that a lot of our kids just don't get enough of.
That's great. I think that's what most people need to hear, is that, hey, it's just your time, and helping out makes all the difference.
Yep.
So Rob, let me ask you, how did you get involved in the Boys and Girls Club? Did you just land this after college, or have you been involved since you were a child?
It's been a part of my life for more than half of it. I was a club kid growing up in Muncie. Went to the club there for many years. And then when I graduated to teach, I moved to Indy. And while searching for a teaching job, I got a part-time job at the club in Fountain Square, and just kind of fell in love with that aspect of youth development and just never left, just kind of, grew, and now in a position trying to, rally around our clubs and support them.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So in supporting these clubs, can you maybe share a story of a young person whose life maybe was impacted, and take us through that whole story of from like they came to the Boys and Girls Club, what they were seeing, and then how they enriched their lives?
Sorry, there's a lot. It's been over 17 years, but one that really comes to mind. So we partner with a group called Camptown. and it gives our kids opportunities to get out into nature, various parks, to do anything, hiking, fishing, team building, just getting outdoors. And, there's been many kids, but one in particular, just it hit him so hard. And that became like something that he just fell in love with, especially I think that was one of the few times he was ever in that kind of environment. So that one really stands out, especially I grew up with the ability and family that would take me, camping and go fish and do those things. And to be a part of that for a kid to experience that was awesome.
Nice.
I was a den leader in Cub Scouts, and kind of that same thing when you get those kids out there that have never done that. It's such a cool experience for them to get a fish on a hook for the first time ever. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that fits right in with what I was talking about, just, trying to fill that void of opportunity that they normally would not be able to get, and just adjusting to what they need, what they like, instead of just, the same core programs like I did back in the day.
I work at the Children's Museum here. I would say you probably know that through our connections here. And I think that just whenever kids come there, and like when the Boys and Girls Club come there at times, seeing those kids getting that opportunity to come and experience those different things, I think you all do a great job of giving people opportunities that they might not necessarily have, and show them that there is opportunities out there for them, no matter what their background is.
Thank you. That definitely nailed it.
Hey, really quickly, comment from Instagram. First off, Drake and Birdie Golf Company, thank you. Would love to donate and help with some product if a need. I will send him, Rob, when we get done with this, I will send him a DM and get a contact info, and we'll get that over to you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for helping support a great organization like the Boys and Girls Club.
As we talk about donations, when someone donates or supports to the Boys and Girls Club, what does that actually help provide for the local kids?
I mean, it's a variety of things. One of the initial impacts it can have is that membership. We pride ourselves on having the most affordable membership, and we'll work with any family that we serve. But it also goes into those academic supports, the meals, the snacks. I mean, we try to be that wraparound provider along with our partners. So there's so many ways that those donations can impact us.
That's so awesome. For people that might not be familiar with the Boys and Girls Club, and maybe you're talking to about your job, because I know when I go places and I tell them I work at the Children's Museum, it always strikes up a conversation. And I know if I was talking to you and you were saying you work for the Boys and Girls Club, I'd strike up a conversation. What's one thing that you think people are often surprised to learn about the Boys and Girls Club of Indianapolis?
I think the biggest thing that comes to mind is just the breadth, the amount of programming opportunities, trips, partnerships that we offer, and we continue to grow from, especially considering my history with clubs, which I loved every minute of it. It made me who I am, but we just keep pushing it more and more. So I think that's the biggest thing that most, even alumni, don't realize, is we've kind of pushed it beyond traditional youth development.
That's fantastic. Awesome.
So we are a golf let's jump into golf here really quickly. You guys have a cool event coming up. It's the For the Kids golf outing. So can we talk about that, and how did it become part of your fundraising efforts?
Yeah, so basically it's been a integral part of our fundraising, and it's just really a kind of a fun way to get everyone together. And the big thing was trying to engage the business community, really, to reach out there to kind of, let people know who we are, what we do, kind of about, informing them about all of these things that we offer to the kids. And I think connecting with them, their resources, their generous donations, it just grew into an event that's just something we look forward to every year.
So this year, it's August 13th. It's at the Coffin Club, which is downtown Indianapolis. I love the holes that are on the White River there. It's a fun little course to play. What can golfers expect when they show up that morning and they show up for this event?
Yeah, so basically we have a relaxed morning check-in. We breakfast as soon as they get situated, and we do a shotgun start format. We have a lot of on-course contests like longest drive, closest to the pin. Then we have a lunch and a reception afterwards, which is always really fun to stick around for those awards, those prizes, and basically, to wrap it up, just to hear directly about the impact that they're making and can make on Boys and Girls Club.
Nice.
What makes, obviously Greg and I have both played in a lot of super charity scrambles. I've got one coming up in August already, the week before yours, actually. What makes this different from some of the other charity outings around Indianapolis?
I think the fact that it's a bit more personal, it strikes to most folks, and it's just a bit more approachable or smaller than those big corporate outings. So I think it just has more of a fun feel, like getting together with your friends. Just only difference is you're also contributing and really helping the cause.
I feel those are the best type of outings, when it's laid back, it's fun, and you're helping a great cause. Those are the outings that I have more fun in. So thank you for putting on an outing like that.
And honestly, we lean into what we do, just make it fun. What would you want to do?
Yeah, do what you know.
Yeah.
So you're showing what is fun about the Boys and Girls Club through a golf tournament for people that can help you out. So speaking of helping you out, what kind of impact has this tournament had over the years on helping out the Boys and Girls Club?
It's been kind of a huge impact, our scholarship. So we have a program when kids go through our program and at least attend 3 years, they qualify for a scholarship. So it directly impacts that. We're actually sending some kids off to college here real soon. Those programs I mentioned, the kids that we serve, we serve over 2,000 plus kids. It's so many different ways, and there's ways that you can have a say in where that goes. But yeah, I just couldn't speak enough about the impact it could have.
That's awesome.
Are there, for local businesses, are there still opportunities even for sponsors, local businesses, or even golfers if they want to play? Are there still opportunities for everybody there?
Absolutely. That's part of why we like our approach is, it's very approachable, and there's definitely opportunities.
That's awesome.
So we've already had someone reach out and do this through our Instagram that's watching live right now. But if someone is listening today and wants to support the Boys and Girls Club, or support the outing through the outing, volunteering, donating their time, what's the best way for someone to get involved in any of these avenues?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is just come out and golf, come out and have fun, get a team out there. Sponsoring, a great way, volunteering your time, or just donating directly. You can go straight to our website and get that www.bgcindy.org, and that's an easy way to get involved. That's really the best way.
Nice.
So if you could leave our listeners today with one message about why investing in local youth matters, what would that message be today?
I really think just go back to when you were a youth. What did you need? What did you get? What did you not get? And we're there to support these kids in whatever they need. The biggest thing I pride ourselves in is we're there for any kid, but especially those that need us the most. And we all know what's going around in the city. We have to step up and do something and support these kids, these families. So the impact that your time, your money, your connections, your networking and can provide, you have no idea. It's something we all have to get in on together.
That's fantastic. Rob, thank you so much for being here today to talk about this. If you are in the Indianapolis area, if you're in my home state, make sure you're checking out the Boys and Girls Club of Indianapolis in any way that you can help. Can they go into any local area to just volunteer, talk to you, go to the website? Can you say the website one more time for us, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. It's www.bgc, as in Boys and Girls Club, Indy.org. And absolutely, that's the best place to start. And you can also just pop in a clubhouse. We're always there to give a tour, answer questions, give information, and hopefully get kids signed up.
That is fantastic.
Are you guys also on social media? Can they find you anywhere on Instagram or anything like that?
Absolutely, yeah. Facebook, Instagram. I'm
Okay.
old, so I'm not as attached to that as my colleague. We're definitely out.
You always got to have that colleague that's better at the social media than
Way
the
better.
old
Way
guy.
better.
So it's fantastic. And like you said earlier, if you are out there and thinking about some way to volunteer, you can have an impact on a child's life by just giving your time and helping out and making a difference in someone. Think about those people that had that impact on you and how you can be that for a child by helping out the Boys and Girls Club here, even if it's as simple as going and playing in a golf outing. So, Rob, thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you out on the golf course.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you for the kids.
There you go.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
So, got to wrap up there a little bit at the end there, but Rob, that's fantastic, and I think that if you have the time and you're looking for an organization to help with, any organization is great. Boys and Girls Club is a great way that you can help out different youth in the community and make a big impact on someone's life. And when you're helping out other people and making that impact, it's so rewarding, and it's more special for the kids that you are impacting with that. And as we always say, this always helps grow the game. Rob talked about finding something that these kids like. That could be golf, and helping them find the next Tiger Woods or Scotty Scheffler. So,
you know what else is? You know what's highly addictive? Distance.
How do you get more distance, Steve? Tell me how I can get more distance. I need more distance.
Experience highly addictive accuracy with Cobra's line of Optum drivers designed to optimize MOI and POI. Optum drivers deliver incredible stability, unmatched accuracy off the tee. Upgrade your game by purchasing an Optum driver today. Learn more at cobragolf.com.
I mean, they're awesome. I can't say more about these Cobra clubs. It is, if you're looking for new clubs, get fit, find a Cobra retailer near you, and find a great change in your game. So, all right, Steve, it's been a lot going on. What do you want to talk about first?
You want to start really quickly with something that we missed last week?
Sure.
You know where I'm going with this, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
There's so much going on that I don't know where you're going exactly with this.
During the week of the Open, there was a State of the Union address from Mike Wan, during which he said that they were pushing their golf ball rollback to 2030, but then also looking at additional options for dialing back the game and the distance that golfers are hitting it. Greg, can you give me the Cliff Notes version of what this actually means?
What this means is, in my opinion, we're hearing all this feedback from different people, from different avenues, that maybe our jump to a conclusion or our rash decision on the golf ball rollback, we didn't do enough research into. So we saw Max Homa hit a 300 and plus yard drive.
No, it wasn't Max Homa
with a rollback.
It was Cam Young.
Cam Young, sorry. We saw Cam Young hit a massive drive with a golf ball that would have met their conforming that they were talking about. So when you see that, you realize that, oh, maybe we didn't do enough research in this right now. Plus, there's a lot of feedback where the PGA is saying we might not use your rule here because we're our own governing body. We use your rules for golf, but we can make our own local rules. That's how it works. And the USGA and the RNA were like, if we want this to be across the board. So I think they're just taking a step back. They're going to look at this, and I think they're going to change what this is going to look like. I don't think it's going to be the rollback that makes your skin crawl, that you complain about all the time. We've heard about it all the time on here. It should be in the drinking game anytime someone brings up a rollback and you cringe. But I think this is the right move. I think this is the right move by the USGA at this time. I think this is the first time they're really doing this with something instead of just making that decision saying, well, we're doing this. I know that Augusta really was pro the rollback. but that's just their course setup, and I think that's why they wanted that. And I think they're good friends with the USGA, and we're like, hey, we're going to support you
Yep.
in this. And I think that's really more what this was supporting the USGA, where the PGA was like, we're not just one event, we're multiple events, and we don't see the necessity in this right now. And that's really who it was targeted at, in my opinion.
Yep.
It was targeted at tour players, but it was going to affect us regular guys. And to be honest, it's just meaning that we're just not going to hit it as far. So it's going to change the way we address the course. But all in all, when it comes down to it, I don't think it was going to have the impact they hoped it was. And I don't think it had the buyback that they hoped it would get right off the bat. So moving forward, they're going to take a step back and reevaluate.
My Cliff Notes version of this is, if Cam Young was here, I would like to shake his hand and say to him, Cam, thank you for the drive you hit at the Players' Championship on 18. You single-handedly destroyed the golf ball rollback, and I appreciate you more than ever now. Thanks.
I mean, and let us know what you think, too, in the comments. What do you think of the rollback? Do you think this is the right move by the USGA? Do you also think that this is the USGA's kind of way of, hey, we're going to slip out the back door and forget this thing ever happened?
You know what else can happen with a golf ball?
Get your mindset correct.
You can dial in your game with the Bridgestone Tour B featuring Mindset. The visual cues help you focus, commit, and roll it pure. Same tour level performance, now with a smarter way to lock in. Find your fit and play the Tour B today. BridgestoneGolf.com.
I mean, if you just see what Bridgestone has done this year, getting 2 wins right out of the back, out of the gate this year. They won the first one, and as we talked about with Bridgestone at the PGA, can't win them all if you don't win the first one. But they have had an amazing year with this golf ball. So if you're still stuck on other brands, maybe give Bridgestone a try.
I never thought this day would come. We need to talk about somebody getting kicked out of a golf club in San Diego, though.
You never thought that? I mean, here's the thing. Whatever Phil is going through right now, there was a personal thing that he was going through for a while, where he was stepped away from golf for a while. Then all of a sudden, he's playing golf at his club, and if what they are saying is true, and he's denying it, so I'm not saying anything has been proven or anything yet. I'm not denying that it hasn't happened, but I'm not also denying that it has happened. I can neither confirm nor deny. This is terrible way to treat people. Like, you should be treating anyone with respect. You should not be doing what he is alleged of doing. And to be honest, you're sipping your tea like Kermit right there. Like, you're ready to just drop a bomb on this. Like, this was something that in the golfing world, to be honest, there had been rumors for years about this.
Oh, there have been a lot of rumors about this.
So
a lot of rumors about this.
It's not surprising to some people that have heard the rumors about this, that have their pulse on the tour and the golfing community. What I'm more concerned about is, if this has been going on for a long time, why have people been allowing this to go on for as long as it has? Steve, what's your take on all this?
I'm going to go back to comments that were made by one Pat Perez. And I was surprised that Pat actually joined LIV when he did, because of the fact that he had said long before he went to LIV that he was not a fan of Phil and would not want to associate with Phil Mickelson, and he had personal reasons for this.
I will say, I love Pat Perez. I think Pat Perez has been great. Even him going to LIV, I think that was fine for that. I trust Pat Perez.
You can go back to Tiger's infidelity issues and see that Phil never came out and said boo either way. And that to me said a lot of different things about it. Do I think that I think what people are realizing is the Phil Mickelson that we saw go to LIV was the true Phil Mickelson. And I think that when all of that happened, I'm honestly surprised that that didn't come out then, and why this waited until now to come out. However, there's a lot where there's smoke, there's fire. And I honestly think that this may be the tip of the iceberg. And I do think that there's some other things that I have heard talked about on things like Sirius XM, that when the news comes out about what Phil did when he left to go to live, there will be there's a reason he's not wanted back on the PGA Tour.
So let me ask you this, Steve, because this is the way that I look at this. And this is a complete conspiracy theory on my end. I am making this up. But I think there could be some truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, we've heard that Phil rumored of having gambling problems. I mean, he didn't hide that he gambled, but that he had gambling problems. But if he's having this kind of infidelity or these treating women this way, and it hasn't come out, do you think that, and then he goes to live to make more money, get paid more money, do you think he needed more money because he's paying people off to keep his stories quiet? And now, where he can't really do that because he's paying still people off probably, and the live money's going away, let's be honest with you, do you think he's just hit that wall where he can't keep up with the payments anymore, and now the stories are coming out? That's my conspiracy theory. This is not in any way true. I'm just saying, does that sound plausible? I'm gonna get a
based on recent comments that people have made on some of our social media posting. I am going to neither confirm nor deny that.
Like I said, this is not, I have no basis behind this. I am just looking at what I'm seeing out there. I'm looking at the rumors that were out there, and I'm jumping to a conclusion. And I am really leaping for this one. But I'm just saying, it never should happen. And I think what hurts us as golf fans is when we put these people up on pedestals, and when they have problems and things go on, I get that. Like Tiger and his substance abuse right now problem, I can understand that. You go through that kind of stuff, but we put these people on such high pedestals, and then when they crash and burn, they crash and burn hard. And I think that hurts. That's why, I think what would be the most devastating thing for me as a golf fan would be if Scotty Scheffler had some skeletons in his closet like this. That would devastate me as much as when Tiger had all these skeletons in his closet. Because you grow up watching all of these, and as we grow up, I mean, Michael Jordan, pedestal again. I feel like LeBron James, we're trying to wait when that pedestal is going to fall on that, and I feel like there's things there, but now I think it's expected too much, which I don't like. I want these athletes to be good athletes and be good people because they're role models, and I think we need better role models out there.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say this: I don't think this is the end of the negative news cycle for Phil.
Oh, I don't either. That's what I'm worried about, and not for Phil's sake, just for the sake of these role models. We've talked about
for the fact that we're gonna have to sit here and have these conversations going down the line at some point. It's coming. So
this is. I wish athletes would be better, and a lot of them are being better. And this is not all the athletes, but kids look up to you. We just had the Boys and Girls Club on here, and it's about helping kids, and they look up to you. And when you're doing stuff like this, that is just filthy, and you're not being that role model. I don't care if you want to be a jerk, then be a jerk and let us know you're a jerk. Don't play this persona out there that you're this good guy when you are, in fact, not a good guy. That's the part.
Well, here's my problem with this, and you hit the nail on the head there. A guy that was looked up to and was like, oh, this is the next Arnold Palmer because of the way he treated people on the golf course, giving thumbs up around the golf course to everybody, cheering for him. And if you've ever seen him, and Dave and I saw this front and center at Bay Hill one year, he's not the great guy that people make him out to be. And it's disappointing because he had this persona with people that were fooled by him, and he fooled a lot of people. And if you've ever been around him, you would know. I'm just going to say the nickname that they gave him the PGA Tour, Fig Jam, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's what I think is the worst part of when all these scandals and stuff come out. Is I'm not going to be as mad at you if I knew you were a jerk to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to use Bryson DeChambeau as an example here, and I'm not calling Bryson DeChambeau a jerk by any means here. But what you get with Bryson is one thing, and he can be a jerk. And you've talked about the way he treated you at things before, the way we've seen him, and the way he improved when he went to live, and now I feel he's getting all this bad press again. But I don't feel with Bryson, with any of this, that it's fake when it's there. I just feel he changes and flows, but he's also not doing anything like Phil has done here. Like, he's not treating women badly. Like, you can be a jerk to guys, you can be a jerk to people. That's fine.
Yeah.
Some people are jerks. Some people suck. But when you try to play a different persona and be this role model, but that is not who you are, and then you crash and burn, it makes it so much worse, and it makes people lose trust in you. So
is it like when you're single and you go on a date with a girl and then you send her home with a gift basket in the back of a limo? Derek Jeter.
Hey, that's a nice guy. You're single. You send her home.
He gave him a gift basket with an autographed baseball in it. Okay.
I mean, that's why he's the GOAT.
Right.
Like, you treat him with respect. You treat people with respect. So,
speaking of goats, Greg, let's talk about the GOAT of kids golf clubs, Upswing Golf. Get your young golfers started right with Upswing Golf and their full lineup of kids clubs designed for proper fit, real performance, and serious fun. Upswing Golf, grow like a pro. Upswinggolf.com. If you've got a junior looking for golf clubs and you're looking at any other club out there in the market today and you're not looking at Upswing, you're insane. And we'll leave it at that.
I will just say, we all have kids. We know you buy kids clothes and they wear them for a week, and then you got to buy more clothes because they've grown 5 inches. The same thing is with their golf clubs. If you buy smaller clubs for them, as they get bigger, you need to replace those clubs. With Upswing, you don't need to do that. You just need to replace the shaft and then maybe add a few different heads in there to get a full set by the time they've grown into adult clubs. So it is an amazing brand and will save you money in the long run with your kids. Check out upswinggolf.com.
Greg, the PGA Tour made an announcement this week in regards to somebody who wasn't playing this week in Hartford and will not meet the 15 tournament minimum this year on the PGA Tour, and Rory McIlroy, that they are giving him a special pass, whatever they're calling it, so that he can keep his card for the 2027 season. I'm going to ask the question this way. I need your take as to whether or not this is a good move or not on their part. And then there's the question of, is this a good decision based on the fact that Wesley Bryan still can't play in a PGA Tour event?
I'm not going to answer the Wesley Bryan thing because that's two separate things that are there. But it bothers me that I like Rory, and I think Rory has been a great ambassador for the PGA Tour. He's been a great ambassador for golf. Like, I go back to our last topic. I hope Rory is who Rory is. But you were the ambassador that talked about changing the game, putting these minimums on there. You and Tiger did a lot for this. And you had a lot of stress on you when you were becoming the face of the players and the face of the PGA. And now you're not doing what you kind of agreed upon in all of these negotiations. And that's where I have the problem with this is, when you're that leader, even when you're stepping down saying, I'm not going to be the leader and all of that, you're still that leader. People still look up to you for what this is. So I don't think he should get an exemption for this. I do think because he is a major winner this year, but come on, man. Unless there was something that went on where he had an injury or there was a family emergency that was going on that was causing him to miss a lot, that he wouldn't be able to make it up at the end of the year without even missing more time. And if that's the case, then yes. If that's the case, make those exceptions on there. But don't make the exception just because he's Rory McIlroy. That's where these athletes get too caught up in their own head that they think they can do anything or be different than the rules when you don't make them follow the rules of this. And with this change in the PGA Tour that's going to come in 2028 out there, and you're going to have points and be in a certain place, if you don't keep this rule in place, someone like Rory, because he might have enough points, might not have to play in 15 events out there.
Right.
So you're not going to get him there. And if I'm a sponsor and I want these players to play, I'm not saying you have to play in everything. I get this. That this is a grueling season. It's almost as grueling as what I think Major League Baseball is. Yes, this is 3 weeks in a row I've complained about a 162 game season. But I'm just throwing that in there anywhere I can.
Yankees couldn't win 1 of 4 in Boston.
Who's got the better record? Doesn't matter if we lost 4 games. But we did lose 4 games, so kudos to the Red Sox for that. Yankees do better. But we got to stop giving people passes like this, because if we continue to give him this pass, then why doesn't everyone else get this pass? So then I will go into the Wesley Bryant thing, is that you're holding grudges against people for petty things like that, but you're giving Rory a pass for a rule Rory helped come up with. Come on.
You want I'm going to give you my 2 cents on that, and then we're going to move on. My 2 cents on that is Rory McIlroy is the reigning Masters champion. He's a Grand Slam winner, one of 7. Wesley Bryant won 1 event in Harbortown before it was a signature event. And what has he done since then?
Hasn't been allowed to do anything since then.
No, that this happened a year and a half ago. I'm not really feeling that. He didn't do much else on the PGA Tour after that. Is Wesley Bryant a great talent and can do some crazy things with a golf ball? Not arguing that he can. But at the end of the day, Rory McIlroy is the reigning Masters champion. And I agree with you in that you helped write the rules to put in place. You need to live by the rules. But the PGA Tour, again, who makes more money showing up at any event on the PGA Tour, Wesley Bryant or Rory McIlroy?
Well, let me ask you this, Steve. So let's say he gets the pass this year. Now, this has been a thing for a few years where Rory skips stuff, and then they were supposed to get fined for stuff. So this isn't like the first time something like this with Rory specifically has happened. So let's say next year Rory doesn't play 15 events and they keep the same rule in place. Do you give him a pass again then just because he's Rory McIlroy? That's my point. Just because he's Rory doesn't mean you keep giving him passes.
Are you making a one-time precedent exemption like you did with Brooks? And it's a one-time thing and it will not happen again? I'm okay with that. Especially because as we look to 2028, in all of these events that these guys are going to have to play in the championship series, I think you're going to see some different things happen. I just do.
So let me ask you this question then. With the change in 2028, it's going to about 24 events a year. So 23 to 24 events a year plus playoffs in that. Right now, 15 is what they're saying you should play. Do you think that should change from 15 to maybe 12 or something like along those lines, or 15 the right number?
I think 15 is the right number, especially when you count the playoffs. I do think, and it's something I've thought about a lot more recently, I think if you're scaling back the playoffs, I think you only do 2 weeks of playoffs, and I think the top 32 guys make the playoffs, and then you go the final week would be 16. I think that may actually happen. I think that's got a really good chance of happening when you look at what they're trying to do from a playoff perspective. Playoffs. But I do think that I feel like every time it's kind of like
you have to. It's
you
playoffs
have to.
and practice.
More
AI.
Yeah. But I do think that when you look at where the tour is going, I think the playoffs are going to be, and I like the idea. I mean, we've talked about it on here, is they really needed to crown a regular season champion and figure it out from there and go into the playoffs. I think that they need to really take a long, hard look at that. I think 15 is the right number, because if you take those 2 playoff events out, okay, so let's say that's 21 events. Well, we're asking you to play. If you go to 15, you're still skipping 6 events.
Yeah.
And you're not going to, here's the problem. You're not going to skip the majors, because that number includes the majors in there. So, and you're not going to skip the players.
Unless you don't qualify.
So my question
majors.
is where do you fall all of this in? And how do you make this happen?
Okay. So let me ask you this.
But I think if you cut that back now to 12, and you're asking these guys to play 12 of 21 events,
that's too much.
Including it's not enough. Like
that's what I mean. It's not enough.
You're asking your sponsors to pay how much money? Like at the end of the day, the amount of money that sponsors are shelling out now, I think that there needs to be a long, hard look at that and saying the 15 number needs to stay. And if you don't meet that, Seve found this out the hard way, and they banned him for a year from the PGA Tour. He only should have played the majors because he didn't play enough events when he was here. And I do think.
Yet they're giving Rory a pass.
Seve,
going back to that, Seve, I'm going to compare Seve to Rory. You compare
Seve won a Grand Slam. As Seve won the Grand Slam, and it was either reigning. I think he was the reigning Masters champ at the time. Actually, it's funny.
He's still Seve.
Yeah, he's still Seve.
Even though he has a Grand Slam, he's still Seve.
So that's my 2 cents here. You know what else is awesome, Greg? It's unbelievably awesome. The ability to lock in your yardages with Nikon CoolShot rangefinders, fast, accurate distance, slope technology, and crystal clear optics. So you can pick the right club with total confidence. Nikon CoolShot. See it, shoot it, stick it. NikonGolf.com today.
The official rangefinder of the LPGA Tour and the Golfing Dads. I will say I was using that last night in my golf league, and I would take my rangefinder up to against our partners that we were playing against, and I locked onto that target quicker than any other rangefinder that was out there. So if you're looking for that optimal rangefinder and that crystal clear OLED technology, check out NikonGolf.com. All right, Steve, I'm going to talk. You talked about the playoffs there a little bit. So I kind of want to talk about this playoff format here and the changes that are going on next year. And
you know what I really want to talk about? We'll get to it, but I don't have a drum to bang on right now.
Also, you don't have a drum to bang on?
Where's the Norwegian soccer team?
Are you calling? We're
going to row the boat. But yeah, let's go to the playoffs, and then we'll talk about Hartford.
So yeah, really quick, just about the playoffs. I wanted to, because you kind of brought this up before. I like the idea of that 90 people will hold their card of the 130 that are in that champions division. So if you take 32 of that 90, that leaves 58 golfers that are not playing, but just have their tour card and move on. I think that's kind of fair. I think you're taking the top 32 and finding out who's going to win in the playoffs, and it'll make it more exciting there. So my question being, going on what you were saying before, for those 58 that don't make the playoff out of the 90, do you think they should play in some kind of other event during that playoff time, or should that just be you're in Cancun, like when you missed the NBA playoffs?
You're in Cancun. Have fun.
Okay. That's really why I wanted to go with this, just see, is that, because I like the idea of that 32. I really think that the PGA Tour is not paying us, and they're just watching us and taking our ideas. We really need to start.
Why you don't reward the teams in any other sport with an event if they miss the playoffs? You have to sit and watch, play better, get in.
There you go. So speaking of playing better, we had a fun final signature event of the year in Hartford this week.
Monday finish due to Mother Nature on Sunday. I want to ask you one question, though, Greg, and this comes up every year the week after Hartford. And especially as we look at golf courses going forward, of where are they going to play them? 21 under?
21 under. Tied for 21 under. Yes.
Tied for 21 under. Last year, 30 under one in Scotty Scheffler. Is the Tournament Players Club at River Highlands, a par 70 golf course that's 6,900 yards, worthy to be I want your opinion, I will give you mine, and understand that my opinion also is slanted because it's the golf tournament that I grew up going to. Is the Tournament Players Club at River Highlands worthy of hosting a PGA Tour event?
So are you asking me this now or in 2028?
I'm asking you for if
That
as
changed my opinion.
going forward.
Okay.
Should this be in the championship series?
My feeling on this, and you said a par 70, I feel there has been too many par 70s that they have played this year alone. And I feel that's been a trend lately. 70, maybe 71s. There's not like 72s that are out there as much. So I'd like to see a little bit more of those. And some of that has to do with the distance that these guys hit it. So they have converted some that are a 72 to a 71 or a 70 by changing some of the par 5s to par 4s out there. I like seeing low rounds like this. I like seeing the change in like the US Open being such low scoring to this being such high scoring to this being such a low scoring event. I like seeing that fluctuation. So I like Hartford. I think the players like Hartford. I compare it to Harbortown as well, but Harbortown plays a lot harder just because it's a lot more narrow. You have postage stamp greens. So there's things you can do if you want to make the course harder, but they're still playing the same game. And if you're going to go low, I find it bad when like one person is like 20 under and the rest are like 10. When there's that much disparity in first and second place, then I see a problem. But right now, there's a lot of people up there. There's a lot of people fighting for that win. I think it makes it exciting. I don't want to see a birdie fest every week. I want to see some tougher courses from time to time, but being a signature event or not, I don't think that really changes anything. I want to see just better play. And when players are playing better, you're going to have lower scores like this. So I am okay with it, but I think people need to get over that. Like they want to see the tough US Open every week because, to be honest, the players aren't going to want to play that every week. And you're not going to want to see that every week because you're not going to want to see these people struggle that much.
I think coming off of the US Open where par is premium at the US Open.
Yep.
I think coming to Hartford in a tournament where the tournament director figured it out a long time ago, take care of the guys. Swag bags are given out to these players. The wags are all wined and dined in Hartford. And those swag bags, from the stories that I've heard, and it's been published before, like they're giving Ruth's Chris gift cards. And let's be real, tour players don't need Ruth's Chris gift cards. But if you or I got a Ruth's Chris gift card, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'd show back up next year too. Let's be real. So I think that what Hartford did was they figured out how to win the players over, and everybody started. There was a groundswell a while back because Hartford was one of those events. It was a birdie fest. It's always been a birdie fest. The golf course is a fun golf course to play, but there are a lot of other birdie fests in the PGA Tour, and when you look at what they are, and there's the idea that, and Scotty said this last year because he was asked this last year about the birdie fest that Hartford has become. Is it a birdie fest? Or at some point, everyone sits there and complains about these guys making all these birdies. At what point do you just tip your cap and be like, bro shot 21 under for the week? Like, they're that freaking good. Like, and that's what they are. And so for me, what's up, Paul? Paul from Lombardi says, what's up, guys? How are you, Paul? At some point, when you look at how good these guys really are, at some point you got to tip your cap and be like, there's a reason that Scotty Scheffler shoots 51 under in back-to-back years total in Hartford because he's that good.
Well, and look at it from the standpoint of shooting 20 under, you play 4 rounds, that's 5 under each round. So if you have 4 good rounds, any guy on tour could do that.
Matt Fitzpatrick had 4 rounds in the 60s and didn't sniff this week.
Yeah.
Like, you got to play better. And so at some point, I just don't think that the idea of Hartford is such a bad event. I kind of enjoy Hartford, especially the week after the Open. Do I think that Hartford belongs in the PGA Tour schedule? Hartford's going to have a hard time. Again, they had 45,000 people out there on Sunday alone. And 45,000 people in Hartford, I'm going to be honest, that's 15,000 more than they get at the Players on Sunday. And outside of the Norwegians rowing the boat,
it's awesome,
which was awesome. And you had the USA chants versus the Norwegian chants, which were awesome because they were all in good fun. Nobody crossed the line. It wasn't golf on Long Island. And from now on, I'm going to refer to crossing the line as golf on Long Island. I think that you have to look at and say, you know what? They did all right. They do all right. Like Hartford puts on a good event because it's literally the only thing golf related in New England. So do you move that event to TPC Boston, which has struggled to draw people, struggled to sell tickets, and it's not easy to get to?
I think you keep it where it's at. I really do. I think you have, we talked about this last week with Dave here too. And what we're going into this week with the John Deere as well is another thing where this course could lose it. And you have these TPC courses that have these great followings behind them. You have great communities behind them that really love these tournaments. And they're your bread and butter, to be honest with you. They're the grassroots people that love these golf tournaments. And you need to keep them this way. I mean, I was torn this week as a great grandson of Norwegian heritage and an American. I have been torn with the Norwegians and Americans, and I love that. They battled it out, and Victor Hovland won, even though I would have liked Scotty to win since I picked him this week. But watching them row the boat, watching fans, you can root against someone and still respect them and still be happy when they win. That's what golf is all about. Let's be honest. Like I
didn't hear hit it in the bunker, Wyndham.
No, yeah, and that's where I'm disappointed at fans. That's why we're calling that terrible Long Island is that going to have that stigma because that's where it keeps happening. But I would look at that. I'd look at these places where people are respectful. People are out there to have a good time. They're doing a job. Respect them for what it was. Watching Hovland row the boat and doing all of this during the World Cup, I think just amplifies what the World Cup has done for geopolitics and how we all get along in the world, and there can be world peace because we can all respect each other when we're treating each other with respect, and we need to do that more. So that was awesome to see this weekend. But I really hope that places like Hartford and the John Deere get to keep these events because they mean a lot to those communities, and you get the fans there. You might not get what you're getting at a US Open or something like that, but you're never going to get that no matter where you move them. If you moved events to Bethpage for just regular events and Shinnecock, it's not going to make more fans go.
No,
because if it's not a major, you're not going to get major numbers. Let's be honest.
Correct. You know what this week gets to do? We get to level up this week. And you can level up your golf style with Golfish. Premium fit, bold designs, and gear that looks just as good as at the clubhouse as it does over a cold one after a round. Whether you're teeing it up or tuning into the golfing dads, rep a brand that lives and breathes the game. Golfish, made for golfers by golfers. Golfishapparel.com. From the office to the marina to the golf course.
To the Travelers tournament this week. Congratulations, Jamie and team, on representing out at the Travelers this week. That was awesome.
They did.
We love this brand. We love the people that are behind this brand, that created this brand, because they are amazing people like we talk about on here. If you are not checking out Golfish, I don't know what you're doing, because this stuff is
I don't know what you're doing.
Phenomenal.
They're unbelievable. Hey, Greg, John Deere, you and Dave have played the golf course. You've been to the event.
Yes.
Good week. Brian Campbell is the defending champion.
Carlton River,
Brian Campbell. As we move John Deere, now you have John Deere, and you go from John Deere to Scotland for the Scottish Open.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, former guest Chris Gotterup is on a 5-week stretch right now.
Yeah. And he's playing this week.
He's playing this week at the Deere. What's the batting order for picking this week at John Deere, by the way?
So the batting order for picks this week Gary Woodland, one of our favorites, Cobra ambassadors on the show, didn't have a good week for you this week. You picked Gary Woodland, and he got 71st, so you get to pick first this week. I would have gotten to pick first had Scotty not missed a 3-footer. And congratulations to Victor Hovland. So it goes you, Dave, then me this week. Our standings right now, I am at 50. You are at 32. Dave is at 29.5. So it's a tight race. You guys are keeping up with me. I mean, this is a complete you're going to press?
Yeah.
All right. So, Steve, you do have the first pick this week. We got a great tournament out here at the John Deere at TPC Deere Run. This is a phenomenal course out on the border of Iowa and Indiana. Dave and I have gone out there to meet up and play this course. The people out there are phenomenal. The course is phenomenal. Dave and I have played it in, I think, every weather condition. The par 3 16th is one of the most beautiful holes on the river there. Just a fun course to play and a fun event to bring families to. So as a golfing dad, if you're looking to bring your family out to an event where you can have wholesome family fun and you can see a giant machinery with a putter on it, digger. They have John Deere putters out there for your enjoyments. And
this is where we need Dave to talk about farm equipment.
We do. That's why I'm struggling talking about farm equipment. And I was like, I don't know here. All right. So, Steve, who are you picking this week?
You know, I really
take him. I know you want to take him. I know you want to support our Bridgestone brethren.
No.
Oh.
There are two guys that I took a long look at this week. One of them played great at the U.S. Open. Another one played great last week in Hartford, in Tom Kim and Ben Griffin. Not certain that either of them, though, will fall into category this week to play well. JT Poston has been on a heater as well lately. But I'm going to pick a guy making his PGA Tour debut this week in Jackson Coyven.
Oh, nice. Okay. I like that pick out there.
Whit just said, what does Dave know about farm equipment?
Well, I mean, he knows more than us, so we'll leave it at that. So, Bradley, get ready to say drink. And everyone, Dave is going back to the well. He's picking his old faithful this week. Yes, you said it right there. Dave's pick is Ricky Fowler. His second pick, if you were to pick Ricky, which I didn't think was going to happen, he was going to go with Aldrich. So,
yeah, no, it's not a bad pick there.
I thought that was a good pick as well. This week, I am going to go with someone who I'd like to see get a win out there again. And I think I might switch my pick here last minute. I was going to go Daniel Berger, and I think that it would have been a good pick out there. I think someone I'd like Goddard up out there as well. But you know what? I think this could be a week where he has made a turnaround. I believe he has won here before. Give me Jordan Spieth.
You believe he's won there before? He had his first PGA Tour win there.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on a bunker shot.
I think
just like he did at Hartford to win at one point.
I believe he can get another win on tour here. Again, go back to where you've won before. Give me Jordan Spieth this week. All right. With that, thank you, Rob. Rob made a last-minute pivot this week with the Boys and Girls Club on here. Pam was supposed to be on. Pam, sorry you weren't able to make it, but we were happy to have Rob on. He did a good job as your replacement this week.
Yep.
If you're in the Indianapolis area or Indiana area and you're looking for a good organization to have an impact on, Boys and Girls Club of Indianapolis is a great bet. And their golf outing, once again, August 13th at Coffin Club. Cheers, everybody.
Deuces.
All right, guys. What a round.